In this first part, we'll talk about resumes. A resume is essentially a business document that summarizes your professional qualifications. It is a marketing tool to persuade employers that they should hire you. A resume shows that you are organized, logical, conscientious, and professional. If the position is a good fit for you, then you should be able to show through your education, your background, and your skills that you have the qualifications that meet the job requirements. Traditionally, resumes were presented chronologically. However, now we can target resumes or have a more functional organization. You can list your key qualifications at the top and then a brief employment history below that to justify where you obtained those skills. Your textbook has some helpful information on organization. You should highlight your strengths. Be very concise. You only have a page. Make sure that your resume is absolutely correct. Employers spend 10 to 30 seconds scanning each resume in a pile and will reject any that have mistakes. And use a conventional font and style. Generally, your contact information goes at the top of the heading, either centered, right justified, or left justified. You can put your name, a title if you wish, and how you can be contacted. If you have a LinkedIn profile, that information is sometimes helpful to employers. A targeted resume is tailored specific to the job. The objective at the top should list a goal related to that specific position, or even name the position that you're applying for so that your resume can be routed correctly. If you use a summary of qualifications, you would pull highlights from your background and skills that match the job. And then in your employment history, you would emphasize those duties and accomplishments that you have already demonstrated that match the requirements of this position. The top third of the resume is known as the high impact zone. This is where the most important information goes. This is the area of the resume that gets the first attention. So generally in the high impact zone, you would put your name and contact information at the top, and then directly below that, you would emphasize the background or skills that are your strongest selling point. There are a variety of formats that you can use. In the high impact zone, some people choose to put a profile, which is a very short biographical summary. Some people put a description of their background, a list of their qualifications, the objective or the job that they're applying for, or their education. Here is a list of key skills that someone lists in their high impact zone. And then below that, you can list whatever sections and categories best capture your qualifications and convey how you are a good fit for this job. You should have some type of employment history with your accomplishments. You can list skills and training. If you've been active in activities, community service, or professional memberships, that information is often included. And for research and academic positions, publications or presentations would be noted. When you describe your responsibilities and accomplishments, be very accurate. You want your references and supervisors to be able to substantiate what you put on your resume. Use active verbs in the past tense. Bullet points are easier to read than paragraphs or blocks of text. Make sure that your list items are parallel, and check for punctuation consistency. If you just scan down the end of each line, check to see if you have periods, commas, semicolons, or no punctuation, and make sure it's consistent throughout. If you have considerable volunteer experience, this can supplement or even substitute if you don't have a lot of paid employment. List your accomplishments, your responsibilities, and your duties, just as though it was a paid position. This is valuable experience also. You can print your resume on neutral colored paper. If you're submitting it electronically, .doc is the best file. Some agencies and organizations don't have the newer Word packages, and so making sure that it's compatible with older versions is helpful. PDF files are often too large, and if an employer cannot open your file, they will generally not make the effort to get another version from you. If you want to see some examples of resumes or some templates, Allison Doyle has quite a few that you can look through. I look forward to seeing your resume.